C4 cycle. In some plant species, an alternative mode of carbon fixation has evolved, and that alternative mode of carbon fixation minimizes the photorespiration and optimizes the Calvin cycle. Okay, it makes plant to do less photorespiration and to do more Calvin cycle, an alternative mode of carbon fixation. And this alternative mode of carbon fixation is known as C4 photosynthetic carbon cycle. Okay, because of this C4 photosynthetic carbon cycle, the photorespiration minimizes and Calvin cycle become optimum. C4 photosynthetic carbon cycle. Now this C4 cycle is named as C4 cycle because of the fact that the initial carbon dioxide fixation products are 4 carbon acids. Okay, 4 carbon acids are the initial carbon dioxide fixation products, and that is the reason why C4 cycle is named as C4 cycle. Now this C4 cycle was discovered by Hatch and Slack in Australia in 1966, and that is the reason why this C4 cycle is also known as Hatch-Slack pathway. Now this C4 cycle concentrates carbon dioxide at the site of carboxylation. Okay, at the site of carboxylation, the C4 cycle concentrates carbon dioxide, and because of this the carbon dioxide concentration is high enough so that Rubisco binds carbon dioxide rather than oxygen. So yeah, at the site of carboxylation, the CO2 is concentrated in C4 cycle. Because of this, CO2 concentration is high, and that's the reason why Rubisco binds to CO2 rather than oxygen, and that is how the photorespiration is kind of avoided and the Calvin cycle is promoted. In C4 pathway, this Rubisco enzyme is not binding with oxygen, it is binding with carbon dioxide, and that is the reason why in C4 pathway the photorespiration is minimized. Okay, this is how it is minimized. So the plants that show C4 pathway are known as C4 plants, and these C4 plants include both monocots as well as dicots. Now in these three family, the C4 pathway is particularly predominant. Okay, Gramineae family, then Chenopodiaceae family, and Cyperaceae family. I'm really sorry for my pronunciations. Now this family includes corn and sugarcane. So your corn and sugarcane shows C4 pathway. Now in C4 plants there are two types of photosynthetic cells, two distinct types of photosynthetic cells. Those two distinct types of photosynthetic cells are bundle sheath cells and mesophyll cells. Okay, these two distinct types of photosynthetic cells are there in C4 plants. Now in these bundle sheath cells and mesophyll cells, the basic C4 cycle completes in 4 stages. Okay, C4 cycle completes in 4 stages in bundle sheath cells and mesophyll cells. Now in the first stage of the C4 cycle, there is fixation of carbon dioxide by carboxylation of phosphophenol pyruvate, and this fixation of carbon dioxide and carboxylation of phosphophenol pyruvate takes place in mesophyll cells. And due to this fixation of carbon dioxide and carboxylation of phosphoenol pyruvate, there is production of C4 acids, and these C4 acids can be malate and or aspartate. So these two things are being produced in the mesophyll cells in the first stage. Now in the second stage of the C4 cycle, the C4 acids which are being produced in the first stage are being transported from the mesophyll cells to the bundle sheath cells. Okay, in the second stage, C4 acids are there in the bundle sheath cells. Now there are these C4 acids in the bundle sheath cell in the third stage. Now these C4 acids are decarboxylated in the third stage, and the decarboxylation of this C4 acids results into generation of carbon dioxide, which then enters into C3 cycle. So in this third stage you have C4 acids in the bundle sheath cells. There they get decarboxylated and carbon dioxide is produced, which then enters in C3 cycle. Now there are three different types of these C4 cycles, and these different types are classified on the basis of which enzyme is being used for decarboxylation of C4 acids in the bundle sheath cells. Okay, there are different enzymes which are responsible for catalyzing the decarboxylation reaction of C4 acids and on that basis there are three different types of C4 cycle. These three types of C4 cycles are NADP plus malic enzyme type, NAD plus malic enzyme type, and PEP carboxykinase type. Okay, these are three different types of C4 cycle which exist in C4 plants. So these are the different enzymes which are doing the decarboxylation of C4 acids, and that is why these three types of C4 cycle exist. Now let's talk about the fourth stage of the C4 cycle. Now consider these C3 acids, pyruvate and alanine. Okay, these two are C3 acids. Now these C3 acids are produced in the decarboxylation step in the mesophile cells. Okay, in this third stage of the C4 cycle, that is in the decarboxylation step, the C3 acids were produced. The C3 acids were produced in bundle sheath cells. Okay, in the decarboxylation step, these C3 acids were produced in bundle sheath cells. And now in the fourth stage of this C4 cycle, these C3 acids are transported back to the mesophile cells. Okay, pyruvate and alanine, the C3 acids which were formed in the decarboxylation step in the bundle sheath cells, from bundle sheath cells they are transported back to the mesophile cells. Now in the first step of the C4 pathway, the phosphoenol pyruvate, that is PEP, is carboxylated into C4 acids. So C4 acids, that is the malate, is the first product of the photosynthesis during C4 pathway. So in C4 plants, C4 acids such as malate is the first product of photosynthesis, in contrast to C3 plants in which 3-phosphoglycerate is the first product of the photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the major difference between C4 plants and C3 plants. In C4 plants, malate or C4 acids are the first product of photosynthesis, whereas in C3 plants, 3-phosphoglycerate is the first product of the photosynthesis. So C4 acids are produced in the mesophile cells, and then these C4 acids are transferred by diffusion to the bundle sheath cells. Okay, they are produced in mesophile cells and then they are transferred into the bundle sheath cells. Now in these bundle sheath cells, the C4 acids are carboxylated. They are decarboxylated. Okay, in bundle sheath cells, the C4 acids are decarboxylated. Now due to decarboxylation of C4 acids, there is production of high CO2 concentration in the bundle sheath cells. Okay, when C4 acids are decarboxylated, that generates high CO2 concentration in the bundle sheath cells. Now because of high CO2 concentration in the bundle sheath cells, the Ribisco enzymes and other majority of enzymes of Calvin cycle are confined to the bundle sheath cells. Why they confine to bundle sheath cells? Because of the high carbon dioxide concentration in the bundle sheath cells, which results due to the decarboxylation of C4 acids. So the CO2 present in the bundle sheath cells is fixed by Rubisco enzyme, and that CO2 is converted to triose phosphate by Calvin cycle. Okay, that CO2 enters in the Calvin cycle and it is converted to triose phosphate. After that, C3 compounds such as pyruvate returns to the mesophile cells from the bundle sheath cells. Okay, pyruvate returns to the mesophile cells. And in the mesophile cells, this pyruvate is converted back to phosphoenol pyruvate, and the cycle continues. Now this step, that is conversion of pyruvate into phosphoenol pyruvate, is ATP dependent. Okay, you spend ATP while converting pyruvate to phosphoenol pyruvate, and that is the reason why this C4 cycle is also known as ATP driven CO2 enrichment cycle. Why? Because this step is ATP dependent. Now the cost of concentrating carbon dioxide molecules into bundle sheath cell is 2 ATP per carbon dioxide. Okay, to concentrate 1 carbon dioxide in the bundle sheath cells, plant need to spend 2 ATP. So the question is, what is the total energy requirement for fixing the carbon dioxide by combined C4 pathway and Calvin cycle? Okay, what is the total energy requirement for fixing carbon dioxide? The answer is 5 ATP and 2 NADPH. Okay, so for fixing 1 carbon dioxide by C4 pathway and Calvin cycle, by combination of these two things, we need 5 ATP and 2 NADPH. That is the total energy requirement. Now out of this 5 ATP, 2 ATPs are required for carbon dioxide enrichment and 3 ATPs are required for carbon dioxide fixation. And this 2 NADPH are also required for carbon dioxide fixation. C4 cycle concentrates carbon dioxide into the bundle sheath cells. And because of this, in bundle sheath cells, the CO2 concentration is quite high. And because of this Rubisco enzyme binds carbon dioxide and not oxygen. In this way, in C4 photosynthesis, there is minimum photorespiration, and because of that there is maximum production of carbohydrates. Just because of the fact that the concentration of carbon dioxide is high, Rubisco binds to carbon dioxide, and that is how there is minimum photorespiration, because it is not binding to oxygen, and hence there is maximum production of the carbohydrates. So this diagram represents your C4 cycle. Okay, in the chloroplast, the oxaloacetate is converted into malate. This is happening in the mesophile cells. Now the malate is generated in mesophile cells, then this malate is transported into the chloroplast of the bundle sheath cells, where this malate in the bundle sheath cell is converted into pyruvate, and in this process the carbon dioxide is released, which is incorporated into the Calvin cycle. Now this pyruvate, which is generated in the bundle sheath cell, is transported back into the chloroplast of the mesophile cell. Here this pyruvate is converted into PEP, and this goes out of the chloroplast and it gets converted into oxaloacetate. Okay, and then this oxaloacetate, this is phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, pyruvate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, then this phosphoenol pyruvate is transported into the cytosol, and in the cytosol this phosphoenol pyruvate is converted back to the oxaloacetate, and this oxaloacetate is then transported back into the chloroplast, where in chloroplast, this oxaloacetate is converted into the malate, and that is how the C4 cycle takes place. Again, this malate is transported into the bundle sheath cell. Okay, so this is how the C4 cycle takes place. Now let's read about the leaf anatomy of the C4 plants. Now these C4 plants are unique in the fact that they have two types of photosynthetic cells. Okay, in C4 plants there are two types of photosynthetic cells. There is this inner ring of bundle sheath cells around vascular bundle, and on that there is outer layer of mesophyll cells. So these bundle sheath cells and mesophyll cells, these are the two types of photosynthetic cells which are unique to the C4 plants. If you take the transverse section of the leaf and observe it under the microscope, then you will observe two cell layers which appear like wreath surrounding the vascular bundle. So there is this wreath-like two-layer arrangement of chloroplast bearing cells. Okay, the chloroplast bearing cells are arranged in two layers and it appear wreath-like. Now this chloroplast bearing cells in this wreath-like two-layered arrangement are known as chlorenchyma. Okay, chlorenchyma are the chloroplast bearing cells which are arranged in the wreath-like two-layered arrangement. Now when this wreath-like two-layered arrangement of chloroplast bearing cells, which is also known as chlorenchyma, surrounds the vascular bundle, then that arrangement is known as Kranz anatomy. What is Kranz anatomy? This wreath-like two-layered arrangement of chloroplast bearing cell surrounding the vascular bundle is Kranz anatomy. Now this Kranz is just a German word for wreath. PEP carboxylase is present in mesophyll cells, Rubisco is present in bundle sheath cells. Now this mesophyll cells as well as bundle sheath cells, both of them contain chloroplast. But the chloroplast of mesophyll cells contains stacked thylakoids, whereas the chloroplast of bundle sheath cells contain unstacked thylakoids. That is, the chloroplast of the bundle sheath cells don't have grana, and that is the reason why they contain unstacked thylakoids, whereas the mesophyll cell chloroplast have grana, and that is the reason why they contain stacked thylakoids. Now this phenomenon is known as chloroplast dimorphism, which exists in C4 plants. In C4 plants, the mesophyll cells contain the chloroplast which have stacked thylakoids, and bundle sheath cells chloroplast have unstacked thylakoids. This is known as chloroplast dimorphism, which is exhibited by C4 plants. If a plant is exhibiting C4 cycle, then it is not necessary that that plant is exhibiting Kranz anatomy as well. Plant may have the C4 cycle and it may not have the Kranz anatomy. That is possible. There are some land plants as well as diatoms in which the C4 cycle occurs in a single photosynthetic cell. Okay, they don't need this mesophyll cell and bundle sheath cell to exhibit C4 cycle. Without Kranz anatomy, these land plants and diatoms exhibit the C4 cycle.